Las Vegas never sleeps, but on some nights, even this city slows down just long enough to watch two people walk hand in hand out of the lights. Do you believe that sometimes one late night after a season-ending game can quietly open an entirely new chapter of life? After the final emotionally charged game at Allegiant Stadium, while the adrenaline still hadn't fully worn off, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce chose to stay in Las Vegas for one more night, not to celebrate loudly, but simply to be together. Friends would later call it the beginning of an extended honeymoon, and if this was only the opening act, it carried everything Vegas is known for: black velvet, flashing cameras, and eyes that couldn't look away. They were spotted leaving Toca Madera hand in hand, looking less like a couple finishing a late dinner and more like a scene pulled straight from a film. Taylor Swift wore a perfectly tailored black velvet jumpsuit, blending old Hollywood elegance with unmistakable Vegas glamour. Travis Kelce matched her in a black velvet suit, no tie, just confidence, and a hand he never let go of. What made the moment remarkable wasn't the outfits or the crowd, it was the timing. One season had just ended, a new journey was quietly beginning, and in that fragile space between endings and beginnings, they chose to stay one more night, a deliberate pause before stepping into whatever comes next. Was this just a date, or a clear signal that a future was already being written?
Let's stop at the moment the carved wooden doors of Toca Madera swung open. Outside, Las Vegas was exactly what you'd expect. Dense camera flashes, phones raised high, voices calling out from every direction. But the instant Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce stepped out hand in hand, the energy shifted. The chaos softened into focus. Every eye locked onto them. Taylor appeared as a carefully constructed visual statement. The black velvet jumpsuit cinched at the waist, wide-legged to elongate her frame, evoking classic Hollywood while fully embracing Vegas spectacle. Silver lapel details and metallic lines down the fabric caught every flash of light, as if she knew precisely how this moment would be remembered. Red lipstick, soft waves pulled neatly back, minimal jewelry. None of this was accidental. This was the image of a woman in love, confident, intentional, and stepping forward into a new phase of life. Beside her, Travis Kelce chose to shine in a different way. A matching black velvet suit, no tie, a simple crew neck shirt underneath, clean, grounded, assured. Accessories kept minimal, a chain, a watch, all within tasteful restraint. But what mattered most was this: he never let go of Taylor's hand. As they moved through the crowd, he kept her close, navigating with the same focused awareness he uses to avoid NFL linebackers. Protective instinct, seamlessly transferred from the field to real life. Outside the restaurant, the atmosphere was pure Vegas, hot, loud, slightly surreal. Fans behind barricades cheered, shouted Taylor's song titles, called out Travis's jersey number. Someone even joked, blending football and music, "Travis, run a route to Love Story." Both of them laughed. Security was present, but the mood never felt tense. This wasn't an escape, it felt more like an impromptu parade, two people openly enjoying the moment. Inside Toca Madera, the rhythm changed completely. Warm amber lighting, flickering candles, rich wooden tones, just enough ambient noise to preserve privacy. According to witnesses, they sat at a corner table facing the open kitchen, lingering well past peak hours. They shared dishes, cocktails, and leaned toward each other far more than they looked around the room. One diner noted that Travis listened with his entire face and that Taylor never once checked her phone. A small detail, but one that says everything. Their chemistry didn't live in grand gestures, but in rhythm. Taylor rested her hand on Travis's arm, fingers absent-mindedly tracing circles on his sleeve. When the music grew louder, Travis leaned in closer so he wouldn't miss her words. This was the body language of two people past the stage of performance, standing very close to something lasting. Seen in a wider frame, this night was more than a date. It came immediately after the final game of the season, a deeply emotional milestone for Travis Kelce. The season ended, the adrenaline faded, and the mental quiet began to settle in. Staying one extra night in Las Vegas no longer felt spontaneous. It felt intentional, a conscious choice to pause, breathe, and step forward into the next chapter with the person beside you. That's why people called it an extended honeymoon, not in a fairy tale sense, but in a modern one. Two people accustomed to extreme pressure, choosing each other as their anchor when the stadium lights finally go dark.
When you step back and look at the full story, what lingers isn't the flashing cameras or the flawless velvet outfits. What remains is something deeply human. Two people choosing to stay close right after a major turning point in life. A season ends, the pressure briefly eases, and in the noise of Las Vegas, they create a quiet space warm enough to move forward. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce don't need to make statements. What they showed that night at Toca Madera said more than words ever could. The way they never released each other's hands, the way Travis instinctively positioned himself slightly ahead, shielding her, the way Taylor smiled, relaxed, unguarded, present. This was no longer a story about a stage or a football field. It was a story about partnership. The honeymoon friends talk about isn't just a trip or a break, it's a mindset, allowing yourself to slow down, to enjoy the present, to look toward the future with a calm rarely afforded to people who live under constant pressure. Vegas was just the backdrop. What mattered was how they walked through it, together. Maybe this moment resonates because it reflects something deeply familiar. After every intense chapter, every major milestone, what we need most isn't applause, but someone willing to stay one more night, one more moment, and begin again with us. If you believe love isn't about spectacle, but about presence, leave a comment with the word honeymoon. And if you want to keep following the stories behind the spotlight, don't forget to subscribe for more thoughtful perspectives coming next.